Igor was one of his master's slaves. His master was a mad scientist studying brain waves. He gave Igor a broom for Christmas, something he could use to clean up the room. Everything around here was gloom and doom. Igor thought he could cheer the place up a bit with some flowers that would bloom. And the mad scientist always created experiments that would go boom. Igor presumed he would get it right one day. Igor did all the chores, getting on all fours to get the place clean. And for dinner, he made chow mein. It was the scientist's favorite cuisine. Igor's favorite number was 13, and his favorite holiday was Halloween.
I love your costume. Where did you get that? It's so gruesome.
Yeah, thanks. I got it at Kmart.
Then people didn't think he was strange. All the other times they thought he was just deranged. Igor had a hump. It was an ugly lump. He was slow, and people just wanted him to go. He wished not to be stupid, and Cupid would make him fall in love. He was so blue, you see, and most would agree that Igor just wanted to be making whoopee. Most women just wanted to get rid of him, and things looked grim. The mad scientist collected brains and kept poor Igor in chains. The mad scientist wanted to create the perfect woman. He wanted a soulmate. The mad scientist was straight and needed a date. He needed a body from somebody. Then he went to a grave. He was going to do something depraved. So he dug up Marilyn Monroe, and she would have the brain of Vincent van Gogh, or some kind of brain of a genius with the body of a Venus. He would prepare for the brain transfer when the moon was full. Igor saw her and he fell in love, but she would just think he was a goon. Igor wanted a new body and nothing not too shoddy. He wasn't picky, and it shouldn't be too tricky to do. There was the body of a cat floating in embryonic fluids. He had a plan not to behave like the ancient Druids. He would switch his brain into the cat's body and become Marilyn's pet. It would be no sweat. But Igor knew the mad scientist would be a threat. The mad scientist prepared his lab. Igor wanted to talk, but he was in no mood to gab. The mad scientist would just take a stab at this brain transfer thing. He put on her an engagement ring and then injected her with something that'd sting. Marilyn's body was in a fluid taken from a hot spring. The mad scientist flipped the switch on the brain transfer machine. She no longer belonged in a crypt. She was alive.
She's alive.
That night, while the scientist slept, Igor entered the lab. He would take the brain transfer machine for a drive. What to expect next, Igor didn't know, but he did say hello.
Marilyn, would you like the perfect pet? I want to be your pet.
Oh, baby, I'd love a pet.
I'll be your cat. Help me operate this machine. You're smarter than I.
So Marilyn hooked him up to the machine, and trouble really happened in the next scene. The mad scientist walked in and caught them both. Igor had taken an oath to always serve his master. He was a traitor, and Marilyn, he was her creator. They were both bad, and it made the scientist mad. He had poor Igor flogged in the town square, and it wasn't fair. Igor wished it would stop. He felt like he could just drop. Then suddenly, his hump split, and everyone had to admit angel wings sprouted out of his back. Things were strange. No one knew he had wings, not even Igor. Igor broke his chains and flew high into the sky, but before he said bye, He flew down and in front of the whole town and scooped up Marilyn. They said adieu and flew up into heaven. Their love was true. They flew far away from here up into the stars. They wouldn't be put behind bars. Life was good, and Igor was no longer misunderstood, and they all settled down in Hollywood.